In the Stands podcast, powered by Conditioned Air Systems for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing needs. Please check out their contact info in the link below for a great local company. Hey everyone, before we get started, a quick shout out to our amazing silver sponsors who have also helped make this show possible. Turnkey Facility Maintenance, keeping your facilities clean with all your commercial janitorial needs. M&R Rental for all the small and large equipment rentals in the area. And Young at Heart Design, providing all the swag here on the podcast and for local school systems around here. Thank you to all of you. We appreciate you and we need you. In the Stands podcast, welcome back. Andy Roberts, Jason Loggins, Tony Cash. We've got two great Hall County basketball coaches with us today. We'll start with my first here to my left, Coach Joe DIX. Coach DIX, 30 years of coaching, which 22 have been as a head coach, 433 wins with his time at Collins Hill and East Hall, taken 18 teams to the state tournament, been part of 3 state championship teams, coached over 50 college players, one being a Heisman Trophy winner. Definitely want to hear more on that. Married to Maria, 19 years, definitely the boss. 5 children and 9 grandkids. Coach Dix, welcome on.
Thank you. Good to be here, my man.
Good. Next up, Coach Chuck Graham, former player of Florida State Seminoles with a Sweet 16 appearance, 20 years coaching with 8 years as a head coach, 4 Lanierland championships, which will be close to our hearts, 1 Elite 8 finish, married to Lanier, which is also 2-time state champion herself, so she gives a lot of advice there, we know.
Never let me forget it.
That's right, I'm sure. And 3 boys. 3
You know what though, that introduction reminds me of? I had senior night at Florida State. Only 2 seniors on the team. It was myself and a Heisman Trophy winner. And they let me go first, right? Just to get out of the way. And then Charlie Ward walks on, and then the crowd just went crazy. So his accomplishments compared to mine, that made me feel like I was back at senior night at FSU.
Well, he's got a few more years on his
That's right.
You can take that with you.
In fact, his wife was in my class.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was her teacher. I was a PE teacher.
So
I don't know what that says, but
Yeah, we'll do the math later.
That's right.
Exactly. Well, I want both of you to know, when we started this podcast, again, covering mainly Hall County sports, North Georgia sports, as we started this and got into this, the fun part for us is the community involvement and the buy-in. And so now with the 3 of us, as we are out at games or just out in the community in general, and more people are starting to learn about the podcast and hear it, we start getting more and more recommendations. Oh, you should have so-and-so on. Oh, you should have so-and-so on. And the 2 of you would probably be surprised at how many times we've heard both your names.
Yeah.
And more than once have heard, oh, get those 2 on here together. It's going to be fun. So that's why we quickly reached out, and we can't thank both of you enough for being here.
Yeah, man, it's awesome.
We know it's fun. I'm going to start with the first question, Coach Dix. Obviously, as we just talked about, we know great career so far. Very well known and respected in this community. And we also know the success last year, coming into this year, definitely big time hype and praise, and as we understand now, starting out the year, you're down 3 or 4 starters that you thought were going to be there, and I know that's probably part of coaching and adjusting, but I also know it's probably not easy and coming up with a complete different game plan. But just tell us a little bit about that and expectations this year.
Well, we've gone, I guess, from being old to being young again. Losing Jamarcus, who has our blessing. He's doing what he's got to do for the situation he's in. That's not the first time that's happened to me, but this one probably was a little. I don't know if the word was. It cut a little deeper as far as the timing and all of that. But we wishing him the best. Certainly, he's going to play quarterback at the next level. That's part of it.
Yeah.
And so we understand. And then losing Bray for an extended period, we couldn't have seen that coming. He's talking about his ankle all of June and July pretty much. And, we just thought it was a sprain that just kind of wouldn't get better. And then it found out it's a stress fracture, and then he has to have surgery. So, unexpected.
Sure.
But like I said, nobody's sending any condolence cards. You got to get ourselves ready. We did schedule with the idea that those guys would have been with us. So, obviously we would have probably approached our schedule a little bit different than we have. But at this point, it is what it is. I didn't back away from any games. We're going to go play because that's what we said we were going to do. And I do think we're going to be fine by the end of the year. It's just going to be a process where some guys are growing up on the job, and we're going to be okay. And I told them that latest last night. We played Grayson High School. There's going to be a lot of people that lose to Grayson High School. I told them afterwards, we're going to be fine. We're going to keep chipping. We're going to take a little breather here and let our football guys kind of get their legs under them because they left football Friday night. Some of them were at practice Saturday morning. And so they've basically sprinted to this point, so we're going to let them get their legs under them a few days here, and then we're going to go and get back to it on Saturday.
Sure. Okay. Good. Coach Graham, tell us a little bit about, you're at games when you're at West Hall.
Yep.
And, we won't go into that, but I am going to say, since this is our podcast, and I am
already told him off camera.
I'm going to use this as a minute to say I'm definitely was one of the ones not happy when that went down. And, like I said, both of you are just so well respected in this community. And that was, I'm going to say, discouraging, heartbreaking all at the same time. So I'm throwing that out there because I'm able to throw it out there. But
you know what? I really think this guy, because while all that was going on, there was so much media attention that was in my situation.
Sure.
This guy takes the job at East Hall, which knocked me out of the newspaper for 3 days. I called him and told him. So again, I thank him again for coming back to East Hall and keeping me out of the newspaper for a while.
So you owe him one.
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, as we never know where the road will take us, you wind up at West Hall, and I can go ahead and tell you West Hall, so thrilled about it and pleased, and again, the community there, so happy. So just tell us a little bit about your time there, expectations this year for you and your team.
Well, sometimes you don't realize when one door closes, the blessing that's on the other side. Sure. And West Hall is truly, has been a blessing to me and my family. And like I said, the school day, I love the kids, the admin, everyone's super supportive. Basketball-wise, we have a great group of kids. Now it's about, dialing everything back and teaching, which is the beauty of high school basketball, how you see kids develop through and you push them, and some days it don't seem like you ever get there. But I do think that you're always building towards something. And that's what our kids understand too. I've been in certain situations where you have a lot of talented kids and you're missing 1 or 2 pieces here. But I think that's coaching. You want to run into those type of situations. So, I enjoy it. I enjoy being on the floor with the kids, practice time, doing stuff together off the field, and even with the student body. That's the one connection that I made, at West Hall. That was kind of tough, being at a smaller school, but just being present. And West Hall has definitely been a blessing to me, and I hope I've added some value to the school and the community.
I promise from everything we've heard, you've added a lot of that. So it's great. We love seeing you both coach. And what again, as mentioned, what's dear to our hearts is Lanier Land. We know that's coming up, so can't wait to see you all out there. What you do there. Again, on this podcast, one thing that just really helped us kind of start and take off was that Seth Vining came on here and just loved what we're doing and has backed us, and we still talk almost on a weekly basis, and just so much knowledge from him, and as y'all know, just still around all kinds of sports and basketball, and so anyways, just love what you're both doing. So excited about it. So anyways, leading into that.
Yeah, I know y'all have been around a while and you've coached a lot of big games, but I'll ask you first, Coach DIX, what's your most memorable moment in coaching? I know you've won some state championships, but is that the first one as a head coach?
Yeah,
Special,
probably. Just because of that team, the level of dominance. You know, they won the state championship game by 32, and I was that year. They really embraced me sliding over one seat, and sometimes that doesn't happen.
Right.
You know, now I had really worked to build relationships with them. The thing I did when I got the job, the first thing I did was I sat down with each player individually, and I still do that to this day, every spring. But that spring, I started that, talked to them, anything goes, anything was put out on the table. Had some great conversations that really kind of, it looks like it relaxed them. Like, oh, this is gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And that helped. And then, you know, once we started playing, they knew they were good. They knew they were really good, and they set some goals. And I told them to make sure they enjoyed the journey, because they were so focused on trying to get back to the state championship game, because they had lost it the year before. Mm-hmm. You know, they won it when they were sophomores and junior and freshmen in 03, and then in 04, West Lawrence got us. And so when they got back, you know, there was a focus that I still have yet to see in any group, and how they went about things. And so that would probably be the greatest moment was that group and how they focused and handled the whole season going through.
Coach Graham?
Yeah. Well, ironically enough, I would say probably one of my most memorable was actually a loss. And we played Archer in the first round. I think it was in 20. But the reason why it sticks out to me is because I had a group of kids, I had about 6 kids, that were kind of like the core when I got the head coaching job. And they were sophomores at the time. And rarely played, because remember when Benji Wood was there, we were loaded. I mean, we had like #1 team in the state. Then he leaves, after those kids graduate, and then we just got a bunch of guys, right? But those guys really embraced me. They embraced the style of play, and they wanted to be coached. And it kind of reminded me in the locker room, we lost that game by 3 points. It was first year in 7A, and we played a tough Archer team at their place. And so after the game, and we sit in the locker room, and I have one kid, Eli Pitts, he's sitting there, and he would not get dressed. He was a senior. And he said, Coach, when I take this off, it's over. And then you had another kid, Rob Reisman, who, in tears, and his whole deal was, Coach, I ain't want to let you down.
Wow.
So that kind of reminds me of, why we do what we do.
For sure.
So I always go back to that, like, the relationships are a huge piece of it, and the winning, but when you can coach kids through stuff like that, that's why we do what we do.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Probably the moment, like Chuck's talking about, during that season was before the state championship game. I told them to write on their sneakers who they wanted to win the championship for.
Yeah.
And then they had to go around the room. And there ain't a dry eye in the building. And I'm sitting there. And I was thinking to myself, Greenville, you're in trouble.
Yes,
You're in trouble with what I just heard. There was guys, one guy's sister had gotten killed in a car accident, and we had a guy whose mom was sick, and I mean, I was like, oh, y'all,
Pre-game rituals. Do you have anything? I know the running joke is, it's not really a joke, it's just like when we're watching you play, especially in the Learland, How long is it gonna take him to take his coat off? Because it doesn't take long.
At all. But he's a trendsetter though. Because, after COVID, everybody got real casual on the sideline.
Yes.
My man is still dressed to the nines.
I worry when you get pulling on that tie. Sometimes you're gonna choke yourself.
Well, we were, Loggins and I were watching a game one night, and it, maybe last season, I don't know, and he said, all right, what's over on the jacket?
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding you, a play happened on the court, and he goes, oh, it might be right now. We look, I mean, here it comes.
Yeah, there's a few. I listen to Prince before every game.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm a huge
Big
Prince
Prince
fan.
fan,
And my jackets always have a lapel pin on. So kids have gone away out of town and gone on vacation, and they'll bring me lapel pins from everywhere. So I got lapel pins from all over the world actually. And so that, and then the jacket thing, I don't know where that started. I really don't. It really started after I got married. And I would take it off and like I give it to my wife, like every time. If she's at the game, she's gonna get the jacket because she's gonna sit directly behind our bench no matter what. And so she says I sit there to keep myself insulated from hearing people talk about it. So I give her the jacket, and so that's always have a water. And so it's sad. It really is that you get into that and then you think you cannot do it, But yeah, one night Tyler Sanders decides he's gonna bet me Waffle House. So we got Waffle House on the line. He's like, first one to take his jacket off gotta pay. So it's like halfway through the second quarter. He's looking down at me laughing. Finally, I was like, "You win!" Let's get out of that jacket. So, yeah, definitely.
You tell him about the shoe, coach. You stumped out your shoe.
Oh yeah. One night I got mad and I stomped. I was like,
Didn't feel right.
"What was that?" I ripped my Achilles tendon. It was right before the game. Because we were playing at Raven and the girl hits a shot. I jump up. Because we're about to run out. I'm like, doggone, I stomped my shoe. I was like, man, I tore my shoe up. No, I didn't tear my shoe up. I tore my Achilles up. So I coached that night with a knot in the back of my pants right there where the Achilles was sitting there, rolled up. And then I had surgery like 2 days later. So I missed one practice, but I didn't miss any game.
Dedication.
Dedication right there. I like it.
Dedication.
Coach,
Not really any pregame rituals. Either have a water, probably a Diet Coke or something like that. But my wife keeps score for us. So, I always have to go tell her, hey, good luck and that whole nine. And have to remind her, like, you can't talk at the scores table. You can't yell at the ref at the scores table. Yeah, but no real pregame rituals. At that point, just trying to focus.
Yeah.
And just make sure the guys are focused.
His wife is the answer to a trivia question.
Okay.
She is the only athlete to ever win a state championship at Gainesville and East Hall.
I know, this is crazy.
Really?
She was on the girls' championship team at Gainesville.
Yep,
She was a freshman.
Yep, as a freshman.
And then her senior year, she was on the girls' state championship team at East Hall. Wow. Nobody else has ever done that. She's the only athlete who
That's impressive.
championship with both.
And again, I hear that all the time. She's the best player in the family.
I'm telling you, again, we've heard it more than once that we've got to do a spouses episode.
Yes.
Coaches spouses.
Oh,
that would be,
That'd be awesome.
Yes. Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody say you want to.
Yeah. We got two that you can get.
You really want to know. Yeah, you really want to know.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be good.
The last one I have for you two, appreciate you guys taking the time out for being here. Who would win one-on-one
Oh,
Come
I
on,
don't know
man.
now. I don't know. Like,
Man.
We say back in the prime.
Yeah.
Not,
Come on. Most definitely.
start watching those, like his Instagram highlights of him playing back in the day.
Yeah.
okay. How about this? You two versus Randy Coleman, Benji Wood. Who's
We-
taking
we-
that?
oh, we-
Yeah. 12 now.
They gonna have a hard time scoring.
Yeah. We're gonna let Randy shoot. Let Randy shoot and Benji talk.
Randy is not Lee Coleman. You know?
well, speaking of Lanierland, y'all open up with each other. So
Yeah, man. The first of three.
That's right. That's
The
right.
first of three.
so who's gonna win the first one? Is it?
You know, and that's the thing about Lanierland. You know, I didn't understand it when I first moved here. You know, but I quickly became, you know, like, well, this is like big time.
Right.
So when you playing a team that's in your region, because Joe and I are in the same region.
Yeah.
So when you playing a team in your region, you kind of like, oh, do I cat and mouse the first one? You don't want to throw everything out at them. But I mean, we done coached against each other for a while now, so it's no secrets.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I know exactly what he's gonna do, and he's probably like, they don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So
You're laughing like you're brilliant.
but you definitely want to. You do definitely want to win Lanier Land.
Yeah.
So you know, like I mean, because that's the only time that I say like, and I think in the whole state of Georgia, probably even the Southeast, that the community comes out and support that. And it's really the only time that some of us get to see each other. Now, us, Cherokee Bluff, we're all in the same region, but I mean, we don't get to see like Chestatee and North Falls and Gainesville.
And it's gonna remain that way.
Yeah.
You know, with the new
Yeah.
regions, we
Yeah.
still won't just be the three of us again. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and you never know what's gonna happen. That's the other thing. You know, I mean, like right now we haven't won this year. You know, I mean like I said, we played a tough schedule, but we still haven't won. So
Yeah.
You'll be
you know,
fine.
we're gonna. You know, by the time we get there, it'll be interesting to see where we are. Got a tough week next week. 3 ranked teams. So, but I know he's gonna have them prepared. He does a great job. I told people he was kind of the dark horse in our region, you know, this year. And look around, we might be the dark horse, you know. I mean, he's got them playing. He has them playing well, and to the point where I think they're gonna challenge some people this year. I do. So he's got a really good senior who's capable of going out and scoring 30 on any given night. What did he have against us a couple of years ago? He's a sophomore. He had 35 against us, I guess.
Wow.
So he's got a really good player who can put the team on his back. So we gotta get ready.
Yeah.
Sure.
But like I told you, you'll be fine. I was in that same situation my third year at Gainesville. Well, we were counting on some kids playing, and for whatever reason they couldn't play, and you know, we had a kid that was from out of the country, goes home and can't get back in. And we scheduled accordingly, and we didn't have those same players. And like I said, we're going to Lanier Land 0-10. But we ended up winning Lanier Land that year. You know, so like Coach Dick said, anything can happen at that point. You know, you just got to play because you just never know. These kids are 16, 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
And the entire county is out
Yeah.
to watch.
Oh, yeah.
And social media.
Yes.
So you just
It's a
never know.
different atmosphere.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Early '90s guy, you know, at North Hall.
Oh.
I mean, you know, it was always Gainesville and East Hall, and it was a sellout every year. I mean, it was a big deal. So, and this has only gotten bigger now. I think we've talked about it on here about, you know, last year was the first year they had it where you had it in multiple schools at the same time, right?
Yeah.
I just think Hall County's big enough now to have an event center or something, to have it, maybe have 2 courts or something, you know, that's just the way I'm thinking of things, because you don't want to split that up, especially if you got boys and girls.
Luckily, we didn't this year.
Right,
Yeah.
this year.
Together,
But yeah, it's, I think it's just getting bigger and bigger each and every year, so.
yeah.
But as a coach, I loved it like the traditional way, like it's going to be this year. In the high school, you know, packed, because really you can't replicate that when you start talking about playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, it's a playoff atmosphere. Actually, I think it's more intense than a playoff atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Because the team you playing in the playoffs might not travel well.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Sure.
You know, you gonna have it here.
The entire county.
Yeah.
The smack talking is.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, that's my next question is what does Lanierland mean to you? Obviously, moving in, learning about it, and then Coach, you've been a long time.
Yeah.
What is it?
I mean, it's just, I told somebody, one of the reasons people asked me, why'd you come back? I told them one of the reasons was Lanierland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we tried to replicate that. I went to the Deep South, great tournament. Ain't Lanierland. You know, played some really good folks down there, but yeah, this is a little different. You know, my first Lanierland was Chesley Watson versus Michael Causey. You know, Michael scores 45 and Chesley scores 51 and makes a game winner at the buzzer. That's my first Lanierland.
Oh, wow.
You know, I'm like, we get to do this again. You know, that was the first one. I can remember Coach Vining. I'm a very green assistant at this point in time. We like 4 or 5 games into the season. Chesley had been hurt and Antoine had been hurt. So we're like 1 and something, kind of like what he was talking about. And I'm keeping stats on the bench. We call timeouts. 8 seconds left. Michael makes 2 free throws to put them up. Coach Ryan says, well, what do you think we need to do? I was like, Coach, see that guy right there? He's got 49. He can get 2 more. and then he comes over and it gives me chills thinking about it because he says, just get the ball to me. I'll figure it out. That's the best offense I've seen.
Right.
Yeah. And sure enough, he gets it, goes down the sideline, goes baseline. Michael rejects the shot, pins it to the backboard, and it comes down, and Chesley grabs it back and shoots it, and it hits the rim, bounces up, and goes in.
Wow. Just like you threw it up.
Yeah. Just like you right. School record, Lanierland record, 51 points.
Wow.
Yeah. People forget he had 3 fouls in the first quarter. If he had not got in foul trouble, he'd have scored 70.
Oh, wow.
And in the quarter he was out, Antoine Welchel scored 22 points.
The quarter he was
The
out.
quarter he was out. Second quarter we didn't play Chesley at all, and Antoine scored 22 points
Oh, wow.
to keep us afloat.
Yeah. That's
And then Chesley finished the game.
Well,
And it's not to that level, but I do think like Lanierland and basketball in the county. Because last year I thought the county, it was great.
Yeah.
It's been the best it's been in a long time in terms of like everyone has somebody.
yeah.
And you know they were going to be well coached and play. I think it's a great group of coaches in the county now too.
Yes.
So, and this year is like even bigger, and I think it's set up for the next about 4 or 5 years that basketball in Hall County is, I wouldn't say back, but it's at a high level.
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, I'll ask Coach Graham and then Coach Dix, what's the one takeaway you want your players receiving after they get done playing with you?
Well, you know, most of these guys won't play in college. The majority of them won't. So, for me, is to make sure that they have a great experience playing high school basketball, regardless of how much playing time they receive or whatever. And part of that is just building on relationships, you know, and having fun. Because it's supposed to be fun. I think sometimes we take it for granted or we miss the big picture, but it's supposed to be fun. So wherever that kid is, you know, and that's part of my job as a coach, to ensure that that kid has a great experience playing high school basketball. And our core pillars of what we always talk about, just making sure, you know, we have character, that we're good in the classroom, and that we're good in our community. And our fourth C is the court, which, you know, they take care of itself, we get those other 3 right.
Yeah.
But if they can just take that part, you know, outside of basketball, like the character piece, I think that'll go a long way.
Yeah.
I was talking to this the other day with them. You know, I said I want our relationship to be transformational and not transactional. You know, I don't want it to be, oh, I just played for that guy. I said I want you to call me 20 years from now. Mm-hmm. You know, and be able to say, hey, coach, this is what's going on. What do you think? And you know, I've been blessed that I've been able to kind of cultivate those kind of relationships, I got a lot of guys who played for me that can't play anymore that are still in my life.
Yeah.
I told you I want to be at your weddings.
Yeah.
I'll do your wedding. I've
Yeah.
married several of my players.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I got my license to do that, and did Travis Hunter's wedding.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so so I want that to be the way our relationships are after it's all said and done, because they're gonna forget about these games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than the big games, when this or this happened, they gonna remember Tuesday night 20 years from now. They don't remember how they always, all they want to know when they talk to me is, hey, are you still doing the pancake dinner for the team and all that? Yeah, I'm still doing that. So yeah.
Well, coach is the gold standard. I mean, I've learned a lot from him talking relationship building. So just understanding that, like, he's been at this for 30 years, and it's always somebody constant from East Hall on the social media, like bringing back when they was winning, they won state championships, but all the relationships of all the people that he's coached. Like I said, he's done weddings, he's given advice, even coaching jobs. Like, guys come back and help coach. But I do think he's a gold standard, and nobody has as much fun as him, especially on social media. You know what I mean? So he does a great job of actually making that connection. And I think it's genuine. I know he's probably like a little more humble about it, but I think all coaches can learn, especially from him, because I have, in terms of making that human connection.
Yeah.
And it goes a long way, man, with these young men.
Awesome.
Well, again, we can't thank you enough for being on here, because in as many years as you both coach, you probably realize this, but then probably to an extent you may not realize this, that, of course you've got the relationship with your players and the community within that school system, but you guys, and this is another reason we wanted to do this podcast, to highlight the athletes, programs, and coaches in this county. You guys have set a standard that there's a lot in this community that love watching you coach. They can tell what your standards are. And, my youngest son is 11 now. He's been to one of your camps, and he sees you around and goes, there's Coach Graham. I feel like I know you guys a lot better than I even do, because I've watched you both coach, and it's just, you are right. There's a lot of good coaches in Hall County right now, and I do feel like basketball is starting to come back, and we all love it, and this community loves it, and it's making for great games, but it's more importantly making huge impacts on a lot of lives, and that's just compliments to both of you. And yes, he's been around a long time, and you know that, but I'm telling you, Coach Graham, you're falling right into those footsteps. There's a lot of people in this community that have your back, and we can't thank you both enough for what you're doing and being on this podcast.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, man.
Really appreciate
Awesome.
it.
Thank y'all, man.
All right, and good luck in Lanierland.
Appreciate it.
If you like this episode, please like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube in the Stands Podcast.